You know, in these times of the pandemic, we need to be grateful for any kind of help we get. The rugby family is truly grateful for the assistance that we have received, first from His Excellency the President this year in recognition of our achievements as a non-rugby playing nation, to be able to beat rugby playing nations in tournaments and bring back trophies. But we have also had our challenges as we've looked to grow, to stabilize, and to emerge as something bigger than people think that we should be. And we need to give thanks to people. And right now, the efforts of government through the Youth Employment Group, back down through the Ministry of Youth and Sports, down through the NSA, we say thank you. Every bit of assistance that we can get helps. We've been running an elite program in rugby for the last 5 years. You run the league, you run GIR, trying to develop it. And then against that, because we don't have rugby in our schools as such, we are now developing it through GIR. We're having to pick and develop those who have got not only the ability, but the right attitude and aptitude to be sportsmen. And that has been a great challenge. We have over the last few years looked after a lot of our rugby players in terms of Medicare, in terms of sustenance, in terms of rent allowances and advances, in terms of whatever it is that enables them to give us enough time to prepare competently for tournaments. We normally take a 4 to 6 month run-in for every major tournament, which requires feeding and looking after the players. So when we get help as we do right now, it's of great help, and we say thank you. The difference between rugby and hockey, rugby and volleyball, rugby and bodybuilding, rugby and taekwondo, rugby and the others, is that when you have a slot and they say you allow 25 sportsmen, for them it covers all the elite sportsmen. But for us in rugby, it doesn't, as you know. We play with 15 aside, a squad of 23. And when we went to Botswana, we went with 33 players. So therefore, you've got 33 players potentially to play in that team, that squad. Players, not technical, just players. And these are the players that beat Botswana and did such a great job and achieved greatness for Ghana. If you now go back and then look therefore at the 7th squad that went to South Africa and won one of the trophies in South Africa in the 7th tournament. You have 7 aside, you have a squad of 12, and we have 5 additional. So we are dealing with 17 or 18. That 2 alone for the men's section senior is 50 players. The development of the game is we have an under 20 squad that we're also playing. So you're talking about another 30 players plus. That means we've got 80. Then against that, you have our fantastic women's 7 squad who went to Tunisia for the first time ever and won a trophy and made all of us so proud. Again, you're talking about 17 potential players, squad of 12. That means we've got 90 to 100 players, all of whom are national players, and we've been given 25 slots. So now, how do we determine that? That's the difficulty. It's not like football, 11 aside and 5 substitutes and whatever else, or hockey. We are dealing with a much bigger area of people and much higher level of collision, of body contact, and whatever else that goes into playing rugby. So our elite program, as we run it in Ghana Rugby, involves not only the current, but the future. So for the ladies 7s, we're already looking at 2021, and we're looking at World Cup qualification. And half of the team that went to Tunisia will not be there. It's just as simple as that. And a lot of the men who won against Botswana will not be there. So we've got younger players that we want to benefit from this scheme. And it's a tough one. When you start choosing, you then realize that some of the current squad are either getting a little bit old or they have jobs. So we have props who are working at the African region, Hunan, so they don't qualify. We have Percy working in a certain capacity. So sadly, they don't qualify. And so once you start going through those who are actually working and getting money from somewhere, they don't, it becomes an issue. And so it shrinks. You've got others like Bosoka who have received rent advances from us and other advances on numerous occasions. So you have to open the door for other people to also get the opportunity. And therefore it starts changing in terms of composite as to who it is that you take. I feel sorry for the unlucky ones, Bibi and the likes of Anita Harm, but we have to be careful that those who are playing football, or taekwondo, as in Anita's case, don't get called through. Nevertheless, we have a program of GIR and people are receiving assistance on those, so some who don't go will still continue receiving assistance. Everybody be strong, be focused. There's an opportunity for everybody.